Hey everyone, Tim here. How's it going? I'm wearing this. I decided I've been alright. From videos I've been watching lately, I've been watching people going into their backpacks and looking what they got in their backpacks. I watch you know, girls or boys going through their old diaries or journals. I really like that stuff because I like the amount of times, I like the change that people get, and I like the my in my own opinion, I love you know how it's always nostalgic based, and I don't use nostalgia a lot. I like that idea though. I like people going into their old backpack, going into their, seeing their old toys, looking at the, old, you know, even like going in their closet and looking at old clothes. If it's 90s, 80s, me, I'm going to talk about the early 2000s today. And I'm going to react to some of these videos because they're really cool. They're really fun to watch. And I've seen a lot of those, and they're giving me ideas of doing stuff because I have a backpack. Why not I look through what I have? And it's been like 10, 15 years since I haven't gotten to that backpack. But I miss the early 2000s. I miss, going to the theater and just go in there and act like you're staying in there because there's nothing else to do. If you can't go into another movie, just go to the arcade and play the arcade. If you can't do that, maybe there's a restaurant nearby you can go in there. That was us. We never we couldn't afford Disney. We couldn't afford your usual vacation, so we would go to the movies. And I always enjoyed that. If not the movies, we can go to the mall. We'd go to the mall. We would go to the Crystal Run Galleria, which was a fun mall. And then I got rid of all the best places, and it's just a clothing boutique place. And there's nothing wrong with clothing. I understand. But there's more in life than just clothing. Even though I like videos of people going through their clothing, I've talked about it. I just talked about it. But, there's more than just that. There's figurines, there's DVDs, CDs, candy, um, you know, video games. But I digress. Yeah, and through that thumbnail, there was so many things to try to fit in there. Fox Family had 13 days of Halloween and 25 days of Christmas, which I loved both. I wish that there was somehow a way to watch broadcasts. You can watch, I think I know someone who has broadcasts, but he is not sharing them. And it's not the particular person that follows me on Twitter and on my YouTube. It's not you who I'm talking about. There's another gentleman that keeps it just between, to himself. And I just think that's ignorant. There's there's so much things I can talk about. George Pataki he was the governor of New York. He was the last good governor of New York. David Patterson was okay. No, he was a really good governor. He rewarded my dad the plaque for the Hudson River. If you see Tim Nyworth Jr., Tim Nyworth Sr., I'm Junior. That was rewarded to my dad from David Patterson. But George Pataki was. Thank God I still grew up in a state where George Pataki was governor, because I liked George Pataki. He did really well with 9/11. A wonderful guy and a wonderful human being. I met him. We were at a where I come from. They did a it was a skate park, and it was in memory of the firefighters that risked their lives, the firefighters and the cops, the police officers, and I got to meet George Pataki, and he gave everybody that lost. He gave us all Tic Tacs. I remember eating a whole thing of Tic Tacs. I'm like, I don't know who this guy was, but she's like, go shake his hand, Tim. My mom, and I'm like, who is this guy? And then it was George Pataki. So that's a really, he's my favorite governor of all of, period. I have an autograph of him in my bedroom. So that shows how I love George Pataki. And then Xbox, Microsoft. Xbox was one of the, and whenever I think of Xbox, I think of WWE, or I think of WWE Raw 2, which I love. I always loved Xbox games. I never had an Xbox, but I remember going to my cousins and playing in there, or hit my cousin coming, to the old house and play there, and of course PlayStation 2. Always such a fun time. I remember the Star Wars figures. If it was Attack of the Clones, and of course Phantom Menace, that was 1999. But Attack of the Clones toys. I remember Revenge of the Sith toys. Oh my God, Toys R Us. I remember my cousin Albert's older brother, Mike. He just literally went down the whole path, took every single toy right into the cart. And I remember one toy which was really cool. Was I think it was on my favorite toys of all time video. It was build Anakin, battle burned Anakin to Darth Vader. It was a really good toy, really cool toy, and I'm gonna get that very soon because it's like $10 on eBay. So why not? I remember WWE Ruthless Aggression. I remember Toonami. Come on, man. Tom. Yeah, baby. Show him some love. Toonami, which had some of the best commercials. I'm going to do a rant one day of modern commercials now, because even as a kid, commercials were really cool. So I hated the way people are, making commercials so stupid and dumb, because people are like, well, it stopped in the late 90s. No, it stopped in like the early to mid 2000s. Party City was cool. I remember the Batman Beyond costume I really wanted. My mom said no, laughed at the price, and threw it into the cart. And then I tried to sneak it out. And then look forward for that. I'm not gonna get into that, but look forward for that. For a future story time when the fall comes. That's gonna be really funny to talk about that. Power Rangers Time Force, Power Rangers Wild Force, Power Rangers Ninja Storm, Power Rangers Dino Thunder. Those are the four that matter the most for me after In Space, or Lightspeed Rescue. Lightspeed Rescue was a good one. And Lost Galaxy was fun. But yeah, those were the ones that mattered the most as well. I remember Ninja Storm. I remember we had a trailer burnt down. And I think I talked about this. My cousin gave me money to get whatever I wanted. So I got the Ninja Storm. And I remember playing with it all the time. It was a RC Green Samurai Ranger. Bandai Toys in general was my fucking childhood. I gotta get Bandai the Bandai logo as a tattoo because that's just it's got to be done. One day it's got to be done. Wonka bars. 2005 is my favorite year because it was the amount of things that happened that year. We had Fantastic Four toys from Burger King. We had Star Wars Revenge of the Sith toys from Burger King. We had Shark Boy and Lava Girl toys from McDonald's, which, in my opinion, they were pretty fun toys. And their burgers still tasted good, and the McChicken was still good in my opinion. We had Willy Wonka. We had Charlie and the Chocolate Factory toys that were toys from Wendy's, and we had they were sponsored from Wendy's, and there were candy that was sponsored from the movie, and they did this whole thing. If you get a golden ticket, you would take a tour. I think Warner Brothers Studios, and meet Johnny Depp or something. That was a really cool one, especially when the DVD came out. In the menu thing, or like those like info things you get, like a brochure. Open it up and you would see if it was a golden ticket or not. I remember the donuts. Wonka donuts were really good. I remember more for all. Pizza Hut did. It was the four for all, but it was more for all, and it was like a big pie of all the toppings, and it was like, you get your specific slice, and whoever else gets their specific slice. Buffalo Snackers from KFC was really good. Kids WB. Again, Toonami. Toonami had some of the best commercials, and they were never, I don't know, it was never given the light of day for its own network or whatever. And I always got pissed for that. What else did I not talk about? There was so much I can talk about, and then I cannot talk about. And it just sucks that most of these things, wrestling with WrestleMania 20, it was one of my favorite times in my life. My first pay-per-view, I remember seeing, I remember buying, and I missed the early 2000s so much. People had common sense still. And I don't know what happened to it. I really don't. But yeah.